Hello and welcome to another 4-Minute Muppet Madness, your daily roundup of all the latest news. I know I have not been keeping this up, and as I said, it's just tough with the schedule with my kid back in school, as I tend to leave around this time and have all sorts of things going on. But this is a busy day, and I don't know if I'm going to get this done in 4 minutes, because this might be the most news we've had in a single day around Manchester United ever. I know it doesn't almost seem that way at first glance, but it's a lot, because it's not just the same story. It's a lot of different stories racking up right off of the bat. So let's get straight into it. First and foremost, we had last night Manuel Ugarte, and I think we discussed this on video yesterday, that that was about to be wrapped up. And last night we got it from Uruguay first, that it was wrapped up in the evening, and he was set to travel today. He has traveled this evening, as far as I know. I haven't seen anything to say that he hasn't. He was supposed to. There was a flight to match, and I believe that he traveled this evening. Nobody's really confirmed it, but we've kind of had that a few times recently where nobody's confirmed it, but I believe he has traveled this evening with a deal done for 50 million euros plus 10 million in add-ons, and it was agreed. And so United getting a slightly better overall structure and paying that upfront cost that they wanted to, similar to the De Ligt deal, that they reach the fee that the other club wanted in variables, but they start with a lower base. If it works out really well, then it'll be 60 million euros and it'll be worth the money. So we're all happy with that. That got done. Duncan Castles was on this one a bit. Good source for that, one of the first ones to confirm it after that prior one. And then, what else happened? A lot has happened. So much has happened. We got in tandem with this Scott McTominay. Here we go. Done deal. He agreed with Napoli over his personal terms and is set to travel as well. So once that occurred, both of them were cleared to travel, as we needed the money from this to be able to afford Ugarte now, not to get the deal done, but to pay the new structured deal that everybody wanted, which was to get him done now and have it be a permanent deal. And I think we're getting better terms because of that as well. So that is done. Scott McTominay ending his career at United and moving to Napoli. This is something he wanted. He wanted to leave, and he was looking forward to that. And so it is. And I think that for all parties, it's a good move. I think McTominay at United doesn't suit what we want and ends up being a bit part player, you know, thrown on for goals, which I don't think suited him. And I think that we had there's a lot of, you know, conflict over him playing. Personally, I think a lot of people didn't want to see him playing for United anymore, but for just purely these football reasons. And I think he'll do a lot better at Napoli, and it just suits everyone. Sometimes it's just about fitting into the right space and the right club, but that wasn't it. So McTominay done, Ugarte done, both headed the other way today. Then it gets crazy. There was news the other day about United and looking at potentially being offered Raheem Sterling and Ben Chilwell for Jadon Sancho. And United have, in fact, started talks over a signing of Raheem Sterling. More to come on that. Crazy kind of story. Not the one we all expected. An interesting offer, though. And in part, the reason this is being brought up is because Juventus's offer at this point in time is not good enough. And I want to show what I had to say about this. As far as I understand it, at the start of the Premier League, before the first game, Sancho made clear again his desire to leave United. Everybody kind of knew that was the case. If a suitable offer would present itself, this would be fine with United. He's not been cast out. He is still in training. Everything is fine in that respect. This is okay. All above board, all being communicated well. And I think that's important because he's not downing tools. He's not doing all of that despite not being selected. He's training. He's performing. He's being professional. I think it's fair to treat people correctly as to what's going on, whether we want him to stay, go, whatever your stance. He's not given up on United. He doesn't believe he has a place at United and would hope to get a transfer, and the club would want the same, to be fair. United are considering Raheem Sterling, and they remain in talks with Juventus. The problem with Juventus is that they're right now only offering a loan with an option and not even covering all the wages, and that doesn't really work for United. They've been insistent. They don't want to pay significant wages for Sancho to go out on loan without a permanent sale in sight. So Juventus would have to improve that offer. Otherwise, the situation with Sterling could be a win-win. And I've explained that in my video on PSR earlier and before. I'm not saying I'm 100% endorsing it, but I'm understanding what might happen, where United could look at this deal and say, if we make this kind of swap, we could cover the cost of Sancho and not lose money, and we could cut wages way down. And that's the only way we would do this, is on very, very favorable terms for United. It would have to give them a financial gain, a significant one, and it would likely be a short-term deal as well. So just don't panic. Don't throw your toys out. Let's see what happens with this. That interest was discussed, from Rob Dawson and ESPN earlier as well, that they've been exploring it, and those talks are continuing. Finally, there we go. Gianluca Di Marzio says that Lindelof is being considered for a signing for Lazio, and that would be slightly. It's a little late. It's getting close to the edge, but United would certainly be willing to sell Lindelof if an offer presented itself. So a very busy day. Got it to just about 6 minutes. So much happening. Ugarte finally done as we expected. Finally come through all the way. McTominay going the other way, getting his move, getting where he wanted to go. What's the third thing? Sancho and Sterling swap being discussed, and Lindelof potentially leaving. A lot up in the air on this. I did miss something, which was that the Hannibal deal was £5 million, so that's kind of what we expected, plus $4 million in add-ons with sell-on, with buyback. So pretty much what we expected there. And that's what we've got for today's video. A lot happening. A lot still could potentially happen in the window. United aren't totally done. They may be done after Ugarte in terms of signings, depending on this whole Sterling situation. They may be finished in terms of signings, but they haven't quite ruled it out yet. And with some, if they could sell Sancho without getting someone like that in, they might consider making a little bit more moves. So keep an eye out there, and we'll see what happens in the future. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications on. See you in the next one.